left the man that I loved for the man that I deserve. I was in a relationship for 10 years and decided to leave that relationship because he was no longer the man of my dreams. He was a good boyfriend and he never cheated on me, and we were good to each other, but when it came to alignment and what I deserved and what I wanted and saw for myself and my future kids, I wanted to give my kids the best possible father I could, as well as like the best possible life I could give them, and love is not enough for that. So I left. It took me years of contemplation, but now I am in pursuit of finding the man of my dreams again, and somebody who will give my children and me the best possible life.
10 years, never cheated, present, good to her, and she left him for the man she deserves. Let me translate that for you fellas. That's not an upgrade, that's shopping. And she just paid 10 years for the catalog.
I left a healthy relationship right before my 27th birthday, and if there's anybody out there who is afraid to start over again, I need you to hear this. I was too afraid to leave that relationship for a while because I was in my late 20s. I was too afraid to start over again. I had already committed so much time and energy, and this was a really good person. It was a really good human, but I knew deep down that something didn't feel right. I had that gut feeling, and there was a part of me who felt like I needed to choose this if I wanted to have the path of my life that I thought I was supposed to have at this age. And I want to remind you that at no point is it too late for you to start again. I ended up selling every single thing that I own, including my car, all my clothes, all of my things, and I moved outside of the US and I took my first solo trip to Bali, and since then I've been to like 10 different countries. I've solo traveled. I've met a lot of people along the way. I left my last business. I sold it and started again financially, started again with business. I started posting online in such a different way that just showed and encompassed all that I am, and it exponentially 10x my life because I was actually living in alignment, and I've been able to see life in a way that I never thought, I couldn't have even dreamt of was possible when I started listening to my intuition. And we are so afraid to start over, especially at this age. How am I going to leave this job? How am I going to leave this relationship? How am I going to start over and do it? Guys, it is so possible for you to start over and have something better than you could have ever dreamed. Do not sell yourself short in this life.
Sold the car, sold the clothes, sold the business, 10 countries. Incredible. She left a good man, and every single thing she can list is something she got rid of. And stay on this fellas, because a bit later somebody offers to tell you her husband's side and forgets to mention him.
I regret leaving my ex for my husband. I have been married for 3.5 years. What? And our relationship is crumbling. And I really regret leaving my ex. He was so good to me. He was an amazing guy, and he would have done literally anything for me. I was stupid, young, dumb, broke, and I broke up with him because I wanted to drink and he didn't want me to. We were together for 5 years, and me and my husband can't even speak to each other without arguing. It's literally like a ticking time bomb. And the thing that really gets me is that my ex would have done literally anything. Like, I know from the bottom of my heart, he would have done anything and everything to keep me and to keep me happy. And my husband just doesn't care. Like, my ex never lied to me, not even once. And my husband is a chronic liar. And I honestly just feel like this is payback and this is my karma for breaking his heart. But at the same time, it's just like, ugh, like, what do I do?
Left a man who never lied to her because he didn't want her drinking. Then married a chronic liar. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And if you agree, like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and stay cautious, fellas.
Good men finish last. I'm gonna say it again. Good men finish last. And I'm gonna tell you why. Here comes this man after you've been hurt, abused, cheated on, lied to, been with a narcissistic, whatever your case is. He comes in, he shows you you're loved, you're appreciated, you're respected, he treats you like a queen for the first time in your life. But you have trouble understanding what you did to deserve it. You love him so much, and then all of a sudden he does one thing that disappoints you, one thing that hurts you, upsets you, whatever the case is. May not be the end of the world, he didn't cheat on you, he didn't hurt you, but it's one thing that you're just like, whoa, red flag, defense mechanism. Up goes the wall, here comes an attitude, you want to argue, you want to scream, you want to yell, or you just completely shut down, because that's what you do when you feel hurt. But if you think that no one on this planet is going to hurt you, and you have that expectation that this man is so great that he is never going to disappoint you or let you down, that is where you disrespect yourself. Not one person is perfect. We are never going to do something to where we're never going to hurt people. We are going to disappoint, just like you're going to disappoint him one day. But it's not the end of the world. You talk through it, you fight through it, and you accomplish a healthy relationship. Stop letting good men pay for your ex, your last situationship, whatever that man in the past did to you. Don't let your current man pay for it. Good men finish last because they teach you that they're good men. They show you your worth and theirs. Stop letting good men pay for your past.
She's right, and it costs her nothing to say it. The man who shows you your worth gets held to a standard the man who hurt you never had to meet.
I'm telling you, it is the wildest thing when you wake up one day and you realize you feel nothing, that it is gone and it's never coming back. And you're not even sure if it was ever really there. Literally, you wake up and it hits you and you're freaked out because you don't understand what's happening. And you just think, how did I get here? How did I build a whole world with this person? And I feel nothing. You almost feel crazy. And they're not bad. There wasn't a fight. There wasn't a big event that made you say, I'm done. Like that. And you spend days, weeks, even years trying to deny that you're dead and done. You make coffee, you have dinner, you go out, you even have sex. You just go through the motions like this is going to come back, right? But wait, what's it even going to come back to? You don't want to blame someone who's completely unassuming and unaware that all of this is going down in your head and your heart. But then you remember all the little things they didn't do. Not out of meanness, they just didn't do them. They didn't send you those sweet texts. They didn't do those sweet little out of the blue things, ever. Every time you gave something exciting to them, they didn't give it back to you. There was a little bit of an eye roll. Maybe they just always made you feel like you're gonna be there and we can kind of just not take this love and this effort seriously. And you just got used to it. You laughed and you appreciated their kindness, their fact that they stuck it out with you. They were good. But maybe all those things added up. Maybe you needed more. Maybe you needed something electrifying. Maybe because they were really nice and really good, you thought it was electrifying, but it never was electrifying. And now you're left with, what am I going to do? I'm going to keep waking up next to this person and I feel nothing, and now I'm starting to go crazy. Now I'm starting to want this thing that I'm realizing was never there, but now I really want it, and now I'm so scared I might start looking for it. What are you gonna do? It's the wildest thing.
Let me translate this one, fellas. No fight, no event. He wasn't bad. She felt nothing. That's not a description of a problem with him. That's boredom. And she already told you she's scared she'll go looking.
Y'all already just fumbled one of the most sweetest men that I have ever met. When y'all come into these dating relationships, y'all really gotta have y'all shit together. Especially when you got a good person by your side, a person that's willing to deal with your bullshit. And when I say a person that's willing to deal with your bullshit, some of y'all gotta understand the difference between consistently causing drama and chaos in somebody's life and just the day-to-day BS that you got going on. So we have finally got to a space in our relationship where things was really going smooth. And because I had so much shit going on in my life and I did not know how to regulate my emotions, I ended up losing a good man. Not only that, my attitude, my mood swings was off the roof. And yes, y'all gonna say like, oh, well, that's what comes with being a girl. No, you need to learn how to control that. Because everybody is not gonna want to deal with your attitudes and your mood swings all the time. Y'all, it really took me to be selfless and to understand that if I did not give our relationship a break, I would literally have been his downfall. If we stay together, I may be the reason why we break up and probably never talk again. And I could really sit here and take accountability for the simple fact that I was really the problem. And now that I know that, I'm going to work on myself because I know that I want this man and I'm going to get what I want. But I know that he deserves a better side of me. He deserves a healed, calm side of me. Ladies, it's okay to admit that you were the one that fumbled a good man.
Beautiful accountability queen, genuinely. Right up until I want this man and I'm gonna get what I want. The apology came with a shopping list attached.
I fumbled the man I probably should have married, and I'm making this post so that y'all don't do the same thing that I did. This is an accountability post. I met him on Hinge, and this was back when the algorithm was working a lot better, and it was like 2022, I believe. I didn't like his profile. I just knew he was gonna like me, and the next day he did. Normally I name names, but just in case he has a new girl and they're at peace, I don't want to disrupt his situation, so I'm not gonna name his name. But anyway, we met up quickly, we went on a date, and we ended up being like glued to each other pretty fast. We were like in a relationship within like a month, I believe. He locked it down. He was not trying to see me single. This man was fine. He was like 6'3", buff, long hair. He looked like Roman Reigns. Society would easily give him a 9, easily. And if you know me, you know who I'm talking about. But frankly, his looks were pretty irrelevant, honestly. He actually was very kind, very sweet, very empathetic, very emotional, very in tune with his emotions, but also quite emotional. And, you know, he just had a lot of very positive traits. The number one being, he did not play about me at all. We went to brunch with his brother and sister-in-law, and they were kind of cold, like not really like, I don't know, warming up to me. And he called that out immediately. He was like, absolutely not. When his brother was not trying to get to know me after like we had met, he was like, can you put more effort in with Brit? Like, that's my girl. Like, put some respect on Brit's name. Like, he did not play about me at all. I had never in my life dated a man like that. I had never dated a man who was on my side. Like, who, like, I don't know, defended me. I've never had that before. He also impressed my parents. My mom liked him a lot. She said I broke his heart, and honestly, I agree. But yes, my parents liked him a lot. So we dated for like 6 months, and I kept feeling like something was just missing throughout the relationship. Like, something just felt like it was missing. And I would communicate that to him, like, oh, I like you a lot, I love you, but like, something's just missing. And I didn't know what it was, and this poor guy was just doing his best to try to figure out what was missing, like trying to make adjustments, but like he just couldn't figure it out, and neither could I, because I didn't have the self-awareness that I have now. What was missing was chaos. No matter how many adjustments he was willing to make, he couldn't adjust himself to become a chaotic, toxic man when he just wasn't that. And that's all I had ever been used to. You see, I had not taken the time to like truly heal myself after my relationship prior to him, which was with an abusive guy. Very abusive, emotionally avoidant guy. Emotionally unavailable, everything. Okay, I had not healed from that. Not enough to be with a person who was safe. And so one day when he pissed me off, I broke up with him like on a whim. Because the majority of my prior relationships were with like antagonistic men, I was not ready to receive someone who was safe and loving and kind and caring. Maybe I didn't think I deserved it. Maybe I couldn't recognize what it was. My nervous system didn't know what to do with safe. My parents were kind of emotionally unavailable. Growing up in that dynamic, you kind of look for that in partners as well. So I ended up with emotionally unavailable men, back to back to back. That brings me to my next point. For a while, what I felt like the relationship was lacking was him being a true leader. He would defer to me to make a lot of decisions because he felt like I was more intelligent than him. He would want me to like plan stuff. He would want me to just like make a lot of choices that I felt like the man should make. And I just didn't want to do that. I wanted like a leader in the way that I saw leader, how I viewed it. But like knowing that he has weaknesses and that I have strengths, and then deferring to me where he's weak and letting him take the reins where he's strong is leadership. Like, okay, he could lead when it comes to protecting and providing and whatever, but he may have needed help with planning and stuff that he's not so good at. But I just couldn't see that at the time because I was dumb. I thought I needed 10 out of 10 boxes checked. But relationships are not found, they are built. Soulmates are built. Boxes can be built. If the person is at 7 or 8 and the last 2 need some work, you can meet them halfway. They can meet you halfway. Adjustments can be made. You don't have to break up. So though he had 8 of my 10 boxes, I was still too traumatized to accept him. I couldn't regulate my own nervous system fully yet. I had gotten to that point at 25 and met a very abusive man at 26, and I lost all my progress. So I still needed chaos, and I ruined it. The next guy I dated after that ended up being another avoidant who was emotionally unavailable and ended up breaking my heart worse than anybody else I'd ever experienced in my entire life. So I got my karma pretty fast, I guess. Let this be a lesson. If you've met someone who's good, they protect you well, they show up, they love you, but you feel like something's missing or something feels off or whatever the case may be, or it feels boring, make sure that something is not just the trauma that you're used to. Make sure that, you have healed enough to even receive what they're offering you. You don't need a perfect man. You just need a man that checks enough boxes that you can work with the rest. Anyway, that angel wasn't even on social media like that, so he'll probably never see this, but still, if you do see this, I hope you're doing great.
He defended her to his own family and she left because it felt too calm. Her words, not mine. What was missing was chaos. Fellas, when your piece registers as boring to somebody, you were never the problem. And it gets louder from here. Wait till the woman asking for chocolates delivered to her salon.
What in the bloody hell do you want?
So, we broke up
3 months ago.
Yeah, because you bloody broke up with me.
So how are you already liking girls' pictures so quickly?
Sorry?
Yeah, like, I've just
Because,
Instagram.
Mercedes, you come to my bloody house, yeah, to me, yeah? Whilst I'm on bloody tag, yeah, saying to me, like, why am I liking other girls? You broke up with me.
Yeah, so I didn't expect you to move on.
You put me on tag, Mercedes. You've been saying I was harassing you when you're my girlfriend, and, well, we're not anymore. And I bloody wasn't, thank you very much. And now you come to me saying, why am I liking other girls' pictures? You broke up with me 3 months ago.
Yeah, but you've moved on really quickly, no?
Okay. We're not supposed to be in contact, Mercedes. Are we? We're not supposed to be in contact, and now you're contacting me. You come to my house, yeah? Because I'm liking other girls' pictures. You broke up with me?
Yeah, and? So
what do you mean, and?
You're liking loads of my friends, you're liking other girls' pictures.
3 months ago. 3 months ago.
And?
What do you mean, and? I can do whatever I want. I'm single.
Well, to an extent.
Beg you.
Well,
pardon?
When you split, there's obviously a cooling off period.
A cooling off period? Are you off your bloody head?
You don't just jump out of a relationship and straight to a new one, do you?
You're the one who broke up with me.
Yes.
I'm not going into a new relationship, love.
Yeah, but how are you liking some people's pictures and sharing and commenting?
I'm not sharing a picture. Why on earth am I going to share a bloody picture?
Yeah,
share it to
stories.
who?
I don't know
My bloody nan. Love, if I want to like a girl's picture, I'm going to bloody do that.
But you never did it before, I don't get it.
What?
You're trying to prove a point?
Well, I didn't do it before because I wasn't single before. I had bloody loyalty. Sorry.
We still liked other people's pictures anyway.
No, I'm doing that now, yeah, but I didn't do it before, did I?
Well, I don't know, I never saw it pop up so many times.
Okay, but you're seeing it now. But I'm single, I can do what I want.
Well, yeah,
Why is it bothering
so
you? Why is it? 3 months ain't it's not quick, is it?
Well, yeah, by the time the cooling off period, it's basically
A cooling off period.
a week ago.
What do you mean a cooling off period? This isn't like buying a fridge, is it? Am I a fridge? Have you just bought a bloody fridge?
It'd be a bad review if I did.
Exactly. But you're the one who broke up with me. I don't see why is it any of your bloody business, yeah? That you're by my house telling me why am I liking other girls' pictures?
Well, if there's something I should know, then it's better off to say it so I can just get rid of you on Instagram.
Well, what do you mean there's something which you should know?
Well,
you should know that I'm single. I'm not seeing anybody else, love. It don't even matter if I'm seeing somebody else. It's none of your business.
Well, I'm not saying it is, but it's good to
It's
know.
none of your
So
business.
I can just get rid of
It's good to know. Well, you can't get rid of me. I didn't invite you over my house.
Just like you're rubbing it in, liking.
You shouldn't be by my house. We shouldn't be in communication.
Well, I can't text you. It's not going to be texting all the others.
Love, can you please just go away from my house?
Well, yeah, just stop popping up.
Go back to the hole which you've called out from.
Oh, very funny, very funny.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Of course, this is fake. Nobody in a real arguments lands in my fridge that cleanly. But it works because you've met her, fellas. She dumped him, then drove to his house furious that a single man was acting single.
So I saw a comment, I deleted it, but I need to respond to it. Someone asked to hear my husband's side. So let me tell you, my husband's side. Well, he loved me and gave me everything he had, did everything in the world for me. And you know what? I have to tell you though, actually, to his credit, he did do so much for me. Except show me love and respect and attention and hold me and kiss me and look at me and communicate with me and try to have conflict resolution ever. He did everything in the world that money could do or he could physically do, but emotionally, he's been gone since month 2, and I happen to be pregnant. So there's that, and that's very typical of the personality type I'm dealing with. Okay, so I've got a business idea. We need to come up with a robot boyfriend or girlfriend, partner, whatever, for people that are going through a divorce. That way, you don't feel super lonely and you can or is there like a service of men or women, but for me it'd be man, that I could buy to just give me compliments all day and tell me he loves me and everything's gonna be okay and call me and check on me and just build me the hell up. And because I don't actually want someone, I just want some affirmation right now. So we need to create a service like this. I'm taking applicants right now.
She's inventing a service where a man calls you, tells you he loves you, checks on you, and builds you up all day. Ma'am, that already exists. You divorced it.
Hi, my very first video. My name's Kirsten, I'm 53, and I am in a big mess because I am moving out of my house that I've been with my husband for more than 30 years. I'm 53. I know I look 53, but That's what I am. I'm also hugely overweight because I've been miserable for so long that all I do for pleasure is have a glass of wine or have some nice food because I don't have any happiness with my husband. I got an apartment. I got a job. So I'm going to move into that apartment. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, and I have 3 daughters, but they're older. So they can come and I'll sleep on the couch. But I didn't know what else to do. That's all I can afford where I am. But I did get the apartment under my own credit. I cry a lot. I'm going to try not to. But I wonder if there's any women out there like me at my age. I'm not expecting to be here, but being here. And I'm doing this all by myself. I haven't told my husband or my children yet. I don't know how. I think I'm just going to move in slowly, and then I'll have a place to go for when things get bad. This time I went out and I got that apartment and I got a lawyer. And it's just so scary, and it just feels like the end of everything I've ever known. I've never lived alone in my life. Well, I did it. Here I am on my new bed, my princess bed. And it rained all day yesterday when I moved. I went to bed at 6 o'clock at night. I had a bath in my new bathtub. And you know what? It was hard, and I had a breakdown, and the movers were watching and felt sorry for me, and they were hugging me when they left and saying they were sad, that I was sad, and, you know, whoops. But today I woke up, and you know what? I felt free. I felt so excited for the first time in years, just like a weight had been lifted off me. And I feel amazing. I'm so excited. My place is a mess. I haven't unpacked everything because, of course, you can't. And it's so small. There's nowhere. Like, I have to organize like crazy. But I feel really grateful. Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like a different person already. I feel like I can do whatever I want, and I'm not responsible for anybody anymore but me.
A few moments later.
So the last few days have been super traumatizing for me. My own fault. It's always my fault. But anyway, I didn't know. Well, I guess I did know, but that I would have this really strong reaction physically, trauma reaction to finding out that my estranged husband has been having a new relationship. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't. We've been separated for a year, but we see each other a lot, and we spend time as a family together a lot. And I had asked him many times, are you seeing somebody? And he said, no, no, no. I kept saying no. And then he'd take me to dinner and we'd have a nice chat. And I have a boyfriend that I've been seeing. So it's not like I think he shouldn't. Don't get me wrong. This isn't about that. But what happened was, because he didn't tell me, I felt safe around him still, like in the way that he still loved me. So he invited me to go on a trip with him and the girls. And I said yes. He bought this big boat for his business. And so we went and got on this boat. But I said yes because I didn't want, you have this feeling when you first get separated that you can't imagine your husband and your children having a great time without you or with a new woman. And I was like, okay, I don't know whether I should go or not. Like, I don't want him to think something. And I don't, but then my daughter said, well, he's not going to ask you again, so you should come. And I don't know why she said that, but I do now. So I went. And then when I was there, I found out, because he kept texting and texting, and I just was like, what's going on? And anyway, I found out through some very horrific texts, my fault, that not only was he having a relationship, but they're totally involved in saying I love you and blah, blah, blah.
30 years, a 1-bedroom apartment, and she found out he moved on. Rough. Now, the part she said quietly, she has a boyfriend. She thought the freedom only ran one direction. And stay locked in, fellas. Later on, there is a woman who divorced her husband over a promotion and a degree. Wait till you hear how that one finished.
He said no. He objected and declined. He said no as many times as he could say no, that's a no, that I cannot be his babysitter and I can't spend the time that he's at work with my kids like I have always done. Why is this okay? Like, why? So all of a sudden, you've never been able to pick our kids up from school. You've never been able to be home until 6:30 p.m., which I get maybe he didn't want to come home because I was here. But that's why I was a stay-at-home mom, because he worked. And I could pick them up from school and do everything for them until he got home from work. But now, like, we're getting divorced, and I have to be okay with losing. I lost my husband. I lost my family. And now I'm losing out on half of my kids' lives. And half of that time, they're not even going to be with the other parent. They're going to be with a sister. How's that okay? How's that okay? That is not okay. If I'm available, then I believe if he needs a babysitter, that I should be able to spend that time with my kids. Am I wrong about that? Like, they're my kids. Why should a babysitter get precedence over the mom? That's so strange to me. Why is that okay? Is that only in Florida? Y'all, please help.
Wonderful question, Queen. Quick receipt though. Women file about 69% of divorces in the US. Here is the part nobody quotes. For couples who never married, it's basically an even split. Marriage is the variable. She filed and now she's shocked it applied to the calendar too.
I made the extremely tough decision to leave my husband last year after being with him for 21 years. We were married for 8 years. And my ex-husband is not a bad guy, wonderful father. But there were some things that would send people into orbit when I would tell them things. Like, number one, and I'm not exaggerating, my ex-husband did not tell me that he loved me. That sends people into outer space when I tell them that. That was something that I accepted, we'll call it accepted, but now I see it as settling. I had accepted this about him, but what ended up happening is years and years and years of what I will consider emotional neglect, unintentionally. I began to resent him, and there's a few videos that I want to make of things that I've learned, especially with us coming up on 1 year divorced, and what I learned about divorcing the good guy and what a villain that makes you, how hard it is on your kids. I just want this to reach someone going through the same thing or thinking about divorcing the good guy. And if you have questions, if you have concerns that you have for yourself or your kids, drop it in the comments. I'd love for somebody to ask me something because I feel like my story can help somebody. We're going to start here.
21 years and the man never said the words. Not once. That's not nothing, fellas. She called it exception, then admitted it was settling. Providing is the floor, not the whole house. What do you think, fellas? Is never hearing it enough to leave a good father?
It's kind of a long story. I'll try and see if I can fit it in 60 seconds. So we met in our early 20s. We got married at 27. And we did not have the connection and the chemistry that we should have, if that makes sense, in like the bedroom. And I married the nice guy, and he married the hot girl. And we were best friends. Got along so well. We did not fight. We got along so well. But after 14 years together, 12 years married, that lack of chemistry and connection became a huge hole in our marriage. And we filled it with other people. So it was just, our marriage had run its course, and we had our kids together, and that's awesome. And he's happily remarried, and that's great. And I'm happy for him. So my divorce post is not rare. Yeah, so did I know before I got married? Of course I did. I was 27 when I got married. I was 26 when I got engaged. You think you know everything in your 20s. And everyone had told me my entire life, passion fades, passion fades, passion fades. So I took that as, you didn't need it. If it fades, why do you even need it? Better off to marry the nice guy, right? I had dated all the douchebags in my 20s and had my heart broken. So I was like, I'm going to go with the nice guy. And to be perfectly honest, he'd been a nerd in high school. He'd never gotten the pretty girls. And I think he married me because I was beautiful. I am beautiful, you know? And we were best friends. Best friends. And that carried us along for a long time until it didn't. All right, here's a little story. Fellas, pay attention. So I don't just do hair. I actually own a salon. And one of my other stylists has a client. And every time she comes in to get her hair done, which isn't all the time, but it's often enough, her husband gets there hours before her to drop off a box of chocolates for her. This man leaves his home, goes to the chocolate store, which is 2 doors down, buys this woman a box of chocolates, and drops him off at the salon. So when his wife gets there, her stylist presents her with a box of chocolates, and she gets her hair done. Now, I don't need you to be exclusive with me, but I'm looking for that level of commitment. I'm looking for a man who's going to bring me chocolates to my hair appointment. Or coffee. Don't stay for the kids. That's like one of the number one things I'm seeing in my comments. I'm staying for the children. I'm staying for the children. Part of the reason I left was because of the children. I get it. I get it. Thinking about having your children only half the time is nauseating, right? It makes you sick to your stomach to think about. But I didn't want to set the example for my children that lukewarm was what marriage looked like. And if you don't have a healthy marriage, your kids will know. And then they'll think that's what marriage is. And then they'll get into a marriage and think, well, this is like my parents. Would you tell your children to stay in a marriage that didn't fulfill them? We're just trying to keep it real, but. And I'm not the lady who cries on TikTok, but sometimes being a single mom is hard. because you don't have anybody else to rely on except for yourself. And so my hot water heater went out, and I now have to miss my youngest son's flag football game, which I only get to go to every other week because I work on the weekends that I don't have them. And now I have to miss it because I have to stay home for a damn hot water heater to be installed. And it's just super frustrating at times because I'm the only adult in the house. And so now I have to leave him and go do that. And it's just, sometimes it's just hard to not have anybody to rely on. And yes, while I have a boyfriend, he doesn't know my kids. They're not involved. And so he can't be at my house. He can't help. It's just me. It's just me. And sometimes it's hard. And that's real.
He's happily remarried. She's crying about a hot water heater. And the standard she's holding out for now is a man who delivers chocolates to her hair appointment. That's the trade, fellas. Best friend and a whole family swapped for a delivery service. And we're not done. The oldest regret in this video is still coming.
Why do women regret leaving this type of guy? I'm about to tell you in this video. First off, it took them a while to commit to begin with. Then when they finally do commit and they're settled and they're in a relationship, and a woman decides to either end the relationship, they cheat, or they do something that betrays this type of man's trust. Essentially, when you hurt this type of guy. Ladies, there is no coming back from that. It's almost an impossibility. And the thing is, women will come back because this type of guy is rare. There aren't many like him. And if he's in your life, he's probably an asset. So hold on to him, cherish him, and try hard not to betray this man's trust. Because once he's gone for good.
Couldn't agree more. Once that type of man is gone, he's gone. No speech gets him back, no apology video, no cooling off period.
I married the nice guy. The guy who made me laugh. I married the guy who was stable, who didn't yell. I married the guy who wasn't afraid to get down on the floor and play with kids. I married the guy who laughed really loudly, who didn't seem to care if anybody was watching. I married the guy who was soft with me, who listened to me on the phone for hours. I married the nice guy. I married the nice guy when I was 23 years old. I married the guy who'd come from a family who felt like life is hard, we're not going to make it easy on you. And what's funny is he married the nice girl, the girl who did everything to please somebody else, who molded herself to be the epitome of what other people wanted me to be. He married the girl that said, yes, let me show up and do more. He married the girl who said, I have absolutely no needs. None. Why would I have needs when I can show up and take care of you? He married the girl who said, I am low maintenance. Just like one of the guys. I'll sit and watch sports with you for hours. You need to watch a rom-com? No, I'm good. It's okay. We'll do this. We'll do what you want to do. And 20 years later, after realization after realization, after year, realizing this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what I thought marriage was going to be. The struggles that we've had aren't getting any better. They just seem to be replicating themselves and getting worse. I started looking around at my kids and seeing children who needed more from their parents. I married the nice guy, and he married the good girl. And 20 years later, we're 5 months separated, working through some of the hardest parts of marriage. Because it would be easy for me to say, I'm done. We're calling it quits. There's been too much hurt. There's been too much pain. There's been too many conversations that have ended in, yes, I will do this. Yes, I want that. And very little action to show for it. After 3 years of growth for myself, the biggest takeaway I can give you now is work on you. There is nothing more important than relearning the safety skills that we needed to learn to show up better in a partnership.
Because while we were raised by generation after generation that said, life is hard, I'm not going to make it easier on you, that's exactly what we needed. We needed the softness. We needed the care for ourselves. We needed the tools that said, this is how you show up for you first. Because the partnership, a marriage, is not where one person dissolves into the other. It's when two whole people show up and say, I want you to be my anchor through the storm that life will give us. Because life's never going to get easier. But the person you pair up with, the person you partner with for life, should make it easier. But when we go into marriage with tools that were broken, that were only really there to protect ourselves from more harm, all we did was learn how to have partnerships that erased your identity, that allowed no space for the two of you to grow together. It left only room for ego. A different marriage means that you need to show up differently for yourself first.
She married the nice guy, he married the girl with no needs. And 20 years later, neither one had ever asked for anything. That failure belongs to both of them. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, fellas. Is she on her way out or the only one here actually trying?
In the parking lot of Walmart. And I went to grab my phone in that moment that I was hurting. And I wanted to call my husband and cry to him and have him comfort me like he always had after 25 years. The first thing I wanted to do was call him. And then I realized that he's not mine to call anymore. And how alone I really am. And it sucks. It really sucks. And I haven't been able to stop crying since. And I'm fine. But it sucks so.
25 years of him being the person she called when it hurt. Then the day it hurt, she reached for her phone and remembered. No punchline on this one, fellas. That's just what it costs.
Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success. That's fucking sickness. I found myself divorced and out there looking for love in all the wrong places. Fucking this one and that one and that one and that one and this one and that one. And my body count going up and my value going down. I'm just going to call it like a TI is. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them. I should have stayed married to my husband. I felt like I was on this dark road with no street lights, pitch dark, and I couldn't find my way and didn't know which way to go. I felt lost. I felt like I was walking barefoot on that dark road with pebbles and hot rocks sticking my foot. I felt hurt. I felt alone because every time he and that one and this one and that one left my bed, I was alone all by myself. And which was supposed to be soft and comfortable for me, my pillow, it was now filled with tears. I should not have left my husband.
She said it plainer than anybody else here. Degree, promotion, more money. Decided she outranked him at home. He built a life with somebody while she was still out looking. She should not have left her husband. Her words, not mine.
Do you have any regrets in your life? Like, do you wish you had done anything? Is there anything that you wish you had done?
I wish I'd married Mark, yes, because I never had any children, you see.
Do you wish you did?
Yes, yes.
Why? People nowadays, they don't even want children. They moved away from like this concept.
I wanted Mark's child. I loved him and I wanted his child.
That's actually beautiful. So you still got all that love for him to this day.
My family, they were obviously worried because we were mixed race. And I'm talking about 60 years
no, 100%,
ago, not now. Well,
yeah.
now you could easily do it. But he was penniless as well, you see. He wanted to prove to my father he could look after me. And of course he couldn't get the work. He did his best. In the end, it was my fault, really. I betrayed him and he didn't forgive me.
How?
I spent some time with another man and he didn't forgive me.
Why do you think you done that? Was it because of the issues with the family and stuff like that?
No, not the family. Family were okay, really. We weren't getting anywhere, I think, because I was young and all my friends were getting married and we weren't making any progress, you know what I mean? See, I lived with him for 6.5 years.
Amazing. So then what would be your message to those people that sometimes take for granted maybe the person that they love? You know, sometimes people, they break up so quickly they don't try.
I think very carefully before you do something silly like I did. So when I see television, I could cry because I think he'd have done so well because he was a good actor.
60 years. She still cries at the television because she thinks he'd have made it as an actor. No jokes on this one, fellas. She betrayed a penniless man who was trying to prove himself to her father, and she has carried it her entire life.
I was a selfish bitch in my marriage. I've been divorced now almost 4 years, but I was married to my ex-husband 16 years and with him 18 years. And again, I was a selfish bitch. Nothing was ever good enough. I took him for granted. He seriously rolled out the red carpet for me. He was sweet, kind, generous. He told me how much he loved me 5 times a day. He told me how beautiful I was every day. If he'd wake me up in the morning, because he knows I love massages, wake me up rubbing my shoulders. He'd rub my feet every evening while we were watching TV. If I said, for example, oh, I'm craving a Dr. Pepper, he'd be like, okay, let me go to the corner store and get it. He adored me. He was amazing. Like on paper, it's what every girl wants, seriously. And yeah, I took it for granted. And now I lost that, right? And I carried a lot of guilt because I caused it. That's my biggest regret in life, is not saving, the whole family aspect. The grass is not always greener on the other side, ladies. It's not. I'm good now. I feel great. And he's super happy with his girlfriend. And honestly, I could not be happier for him because he deserved to be loved and cared about and respected as he should have always been. So I'm so happy that he's happy. Anyways, what I'm saying, ladies, the grass is not greener on the other side. If you have a good guy, take care of him. Take care of him. Trust me, there's nothing good out in these streets. He seriously set the bar. He set the bar. And ultimately, what I always wanted, I had all along. So we have good right in front of us and we don't know how to take care of it.
16 years of red carpet and she called herself the selfish one before anybody else could. Respect for that. And fellas, hear the actual line. He set the bar, she did not lower hers. She just left the only man clearing it.